Well, hey there, folks, out here in the garage with the '08 Jeep JK. And if you watched my last video, you'll know that I installed a matching Smittybilt XRC rear bumper that matches the front. And now I just got done throwing a winch on here. Yep, my dogs are out here hanging out with me. Yeah, I know, guys. You know, I've been watching a lot of these guys on YouTube, especially Casey's Off-Road Recovery, or Casey Liddell. That's it. Up there in Washington State, Oregon, Washington area. He's the one that's got the Jeep Grand Cherokee on tracks. But anyways, he swears by these things. Now, he probably gets the upgraded version, which is their Apex version. But for the price I paid for this, there's no way I could pass it up. I mean, I got this cheaper than I could get like the, most generic piece of crap on Amazon. I just walked into a deal and there's no way I could pass it up, and it was brand new in the box. Just put it that way. Never been used. So it's the ZXR 12,000 pound, of course, Badlands from Harbor Freight. And I just got done hooking it up. I'll tell you, with this bumper, it's kind of a challenge to get to the 4 bolts on the bottom. But I got them. I was able to get to them with a couple of extensions and a wobbly, and was able to get my torque wrench on there and torque them down. This doesn't have the little capture places in the bottom of it like I've seen some winches have. You know, where they hold the square nut or whatever. Then you put a bolt up through the bottom. This is actually threaded, which makes it nice. So you just have to put the bolt, the lock washer, and the washer up through the bottom and tighten it. Makes it pretty nice. Of course, all the holes in the Smittybilt XRC bumper lined up perfectly with the winch. I mean, as far as I know, they're all the same. So it's good to see that the Badlands winch lined up. Went ahead and put the fair lead on there, and I know some of you guys are going to say, what are you doing with a cable? They're dangerous. You should have got a synthetic rope. I'm not going to pay the money for a synthetic rope. This cable is beefy. I mean, that's some beefy cable. And you got to think, people are running these for well over 100 years, this cable. It's still used for, you know, all kinds of industrial uses, and, you know, on tow trucks and recovery vehicles and everything else. If I pull something that's going to snap this, I'm pulling something I shouldn't be pulling. It's as simple as that. So I don't want anyone to freak out. This cable is absolutely perfect. It'll do the job. I'm not a fan of the synthetic rope, and I just didn't want it on here. So this is for me right here. But this Smittybilt XRC bumper, it is kind of cool because it, you know, it drops down in the bumper. It doesn't stick up real tall. On the TJ I had, I don't know what kind of bumper that was on the front. It was a, you know, probably a eBay or Amazon bumper, I'm sure. But it was a no-name. It was real nice, but, you know, the winch mounted to the top of it. This one actually sits down in there. I like this a lot better. I think it looks pretty good. So all I got to do to this bumper now is throw a little 22, 24, whatever inch light bar on there, and I'll be good to go. The winch works. Tested it all. Now, you know, the wiring hits real close back there. And I thought about trimming the grill out here, but I just didn't want to trim the grill out. And this stuff is real flexible. I mean, this wire, it's real flexible, so it had no trouble making those, and as long as these are tight. So I'm just going to leave it like this here. That'll be fine. Of course, if I ever want to take the grill off, the winch does have to come off. And not only the winch, the bumper has to be loosened and pulled out too, because it's not enough clearance to get the grill off of there with this bumper. They should have thought about that. They should have gave it a little bit more clearance. But anyway, it's all on there. Works, tested it. Everything seems fine. So pretty happy with it. Like I said, the money I spent on it was, you know, there's no way I could say no to it. I think it looks pretty sharp on there too. So the negative, I didn't loom it, but the positive, I did put wire loom over it, and I also electrical taped the entire thing. I don't want to take any chances of a positive wire rubbing on anything. I mean, right here we don't have anything to worry about. You know, this is plastic. It clears the drum. Nothing's close to it. But, you know, once we start snaking through stuff where it could rub on metal, it needs to be loomed. And ran it through there as clean as I could and zip tied it all together. Yep, keep track of all my maintenance here. But, so you can see the positives loomed all the way up. Here's the positive right here. So I loomed it all the way to here, electrical tape the whole thing. Here's a negative right here. I just went straight to the battery terminals. I had, you know, an extra nut on each side, an extra post I could use. Now the Harbor Freight winch, I actually haven't seen this before. I used to install truck accessories and included winches and power running boards and transfer flow fuel tanks, and I mean the list just goes on and on and on and on. And I actually never saw one of these on a winch. They were just direct to the battery, period. And even the last Smitty built winch on the TJ, direct to the battery. So it does have this block here, and it has 3 breakers mounted on it. I didn't bother to look at the ratings of the breakers. Here's the post you could see. So there's 3 underneath if we can get under there. You can see there's 3 breakers. I could probably look in the instructions. But I'm guessing they're probably like, what, maybe a 30, 60, 90 or maybe 25, 50, 75. I'm really not sure. But I've never seen that. So maybe it's a common thing now. But it's nice it has it. It's a safety feature. So I figured it better go right to the battery. I had a post, so I put it there. I have a real nice beefy terminal with like 5 or 6 lugs on it, a power distribution block. I got a couple of them off of GM trucks, like 90s era GM trucks at the pick apart. And I was going to use those in the future. You know, you could run like a number 2 wire or something right off the positive, you know, and go right back here. And then you'd have a location. I thought about putting that in there with this, but I don't have any other accessories on here, so this is fine. Yeah, you know, when you change a battery, you have a couple more things to deal with, but overall, you know, it's pretty clean for what it is. So yeah, I'm not worried about that too much. So we'll get you a shot of it out here. I'll say it tucks down in there pretty good. And it's not going to interfere with cooling very much, if at any. Most of the grill's free there. And honestly, guys, I'll probably never, ever have to use this. I don't get stuck. I know, knock on wood. I don't get stuck, man. As soon as if I'm in sand or if I'm somewhere where I'm losing traction, I stop, I assess the situation. You know, if I can get out, I'll get out. If I can, I'll air the tires down. I'll do what I need to do. I'm not one of these idiots that sit there and just spin their tires and work the frame to the ground. But it's nice to know this is here if I do need it. Chances are I'll probably end up using it to get someone else out rather than myself. But it's nice to know it's here. I can use it for that purpose. And also to lower my CB antenna. If you guys watch my CB videos, that thing is a pain in the ass to raise that and lower it. You know, maybe I'll be able to rig something up where I can, you know, run a rope or something from this to the street and just help me get it up and down on some pulley system. You never know. So anyways, that's the Harbor Freight Badlands ZXR 12,000. I guess they're trying to copy the Smitty built with that. What's theirs? Like I forget what theirs are, but it looks real similar to that. I'm pretty sure, you know, they're trying to capitalize on that Smitty built deal. That's my best guess. Anyways, I'm happy with it. Let me know what you guys think. And there's that matching XRC Smitty built rear bumper there. I know it's kind of tight quarters here. Of course, the rear one, it's brand new, so you can, I think they changed the wrinkle finish they put on them. But it's a stout bumper. It really is. Here it is from the other side. I'll try to get a better shot of it there. But it's a nice bumper. I really like the way it fits on there. I think it looks pretty sharp. And for any of you guys thinking of getting one of these, it doesn't matter what kind of winch it is, just a tip of advice, don't bolt it down and then try to do your wiring. You always want to do your wiring on the bench because there's usually a couple posts you can't get to. In this case, there's one underneath. I learned that a long time ago when I installed one of these at work on a Jeep, and I had to take it all back off. But anyway, do all your wiring first, then bolt it on there. Get your fair lead on there, do all your wiring, put your box on, and then go ahead and get it mounted on there. All right, folks, y'all be good. And yeah, we're out here listening to old school West Coast gangster rap hip hop.